If you've seen a channel name before, then you already know who it is. Who it is? What the fuck? But I sound like a rapper from the fucking early 2000s. But yeah, if you've seen a channel name before, then you already know who I am. You know, this is genuinely a pet peeve of mine. For a long time, I was what most people would refer to as a loner. Oftentimes, I viewed people as my enemies, mainly because I didn't really know how to speak to them. Deep down, though, I really did long for a group of people that actually cared about me. And even to take this a step further, I longed for a girl that cared about me all throughout high school. And spoiler alert, I never found her. But that's a whole nother sim story. Let's talk about this one, though. Bro, that's the second plane. How many niggas is flying out today, bro? Where the fuck is y'all going? Can y'all take me with you? I looked for people to give a shit about me, and that's why I ran into a lot of issues. Particularly with women. When I was like 16 or 15, I got invited out to this like party. And the only reason this girl invited me to a party was because she invited all my friends, so if she didn't invite me, then it would have been kind of awkward, and it was kind of like a thing of pity. So I came along as well. When I was there was this one girl that like everybody was kind of on, mainly because it was a party full of dudes. There were about 7 girls at the party. 2 of them were dicks, and the other one had a kid, so people kind of left her alone. But there was like 12 guys. So there was this one girl that everyone was kind of on and trying to get at throughout the night, and I was definitely one of those niggas. I remember I was definitely trying to get at her. I was trying to be someone I wasn't to try and impress her type shit. So these were during my simp days, so I was kind of dumb. But yeah, I thought that if I did enough shit, if I made it enough of a fucking clown out of myself, then I would impress her enough to fucking give me some pussy. But I learned the hard way that it doesn't work like that, and it ended up not going anywhere. But I do remember later on that I posted something about how I wasn't feeling good, and this was back when like I was kind of young, so I would post every time I was feeling like any bit of sadness. I would post about it on Snapchat, and I remember she seeing it and she just asked me if I was okay. And what I didn't realize at the time is that she was just being nice, so she gave me an inch, pause, and I took a mile. I thought that this bitch loved me because she asked and she inquired about me, and that's something that most people didn't do because I was a fucking weirdo simp with no fucking friends. There was so many things wrong with me at the time. But yeah, I went full simp mode for this girl because she asked if I was okay. And my friend ended up finding out, and he was telling me like,
yo, bro, she doesn't really give a fuck about you. She was just being nice.
I swore up and down that he didn't know what he was talking about. Like, oh, no, you weren't there, and all this other shit. And so he straight up showed me the messages that he had with this girl. He told me some of the shit that went on with the both of them at that party. And long story short, she almost sucked his dick.
That's rough, buddy.
And the only reason it got interrupted was because someone caught them like making out in some room and they kind of like stopped. But bro, oh my goodness, like that kind of fucking crushed me, I'm not gonna lie. It crushed me because I realized how much of a fucking simp loser I was for thinking that she actually gave a fuck about me. Bro, my fucking battery died. I hate when this shit happens. So now I gotta finish the video in audio, and now I gotta edit more than I want to. Let's fucking get on with the video. I'm gonna try and make it as entertaining as possible. So basically from that day in particular, because I had moments before that where it was like especially from girls that kind of pissed me off, but that one in particular really set it off for me because it really made me realize that some people just ask you if you're good, not expecting you to actually give them a response, or if you are to give them a response, they expect you to give one that's really short and to the point. Because when she asked me if I was okay, I pretty much fucking spilled my heart to her. That moment in particular was my fault, and I feel like in general in the past I've made that mistake of kind of spilling my heart when people ask me if I was okay. But in general, I hate when motherfuckers ask if you're good just to not actually listen to you. Bro, I'm an erratic fucking person, and truthfully, I just have to vent majority of the time. I have my moments where I just gotta kind of spill everything that's on my mind to, not for you, but more for me to make sense of my thoughts because they're stuck in my head. And that's pretty much why I made this channel. So it would really infuriate me when people would ask if I'm okay just to not listen, bro, because they don't actually care. They're just doing it because they think it's the right thing to do, and it's not. Personally, I only do things that I care about. Like if I ask you if you're good, I'm gonna sit there and actively listen to you to make sure that you're actually good. I'm not gonna ask because it seems morally right. I'm gonna ask because I give a f. If I don't care about what you have to say, I'm not gonna ask about what you have to say. But if I ask, then I'm going to listen, and I'm gonna actually help you sort through your shit, because that's the type of person I am. I hate when people do shit just because they think it's the right thing to do. In my opinion, I don't care how chivalrous the act is if it's not genuine. If you don't care about what you're doing, then don't do it. If you don't care about what you're inquiring about, then don't inquire, because bro, honestly, in my experience, that fake interest and that fake care, that false hope hurts a lot more than people not asking at all, because it's like a slap in the face. Not so long ago, I got really sick, and it really felt like the end of the world. Something really hit me that I hadn't come to terms with, and that's that you really are going to fucking die alone. For the most part, bro, you only really have yourself. That shit was hitting different when I was sick, because I literally sat in my bed all day with a high fever and could not do shit. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't care for myself. Nigga, I couldn't even wipe my own ass. That's how weak I was. And the worst part of it all was I was literally alone. Like, all my family was out of town, so I was stuck by myself in the house. And then I had to figure out my work situation with trying to request time off. And then, like, bro, it was mad fucking complicated. A lot of shit happened, but that shit kind of fucked me up. You feel me? It made me come to that realization that, like, you really only got yourself, and, like, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. So that thought hasn't really been making me feel the best recently. I found myself questioning people's intentions a lot, and it bothers me sometimes. It's hard to really express shit to people sometimes, because I notice that they'll either start to resent you or their view of you changes, and usually not for the better. They'll start to kind of view you as a weak individual, and I hate that shit when people mistaken me for a weak motherfucker. So even now when people ask whether it's a friend or somebody that I kind of know and see around if I'm good, bro, I just tell them, yeah, I'm good, I'm straight, or I'll be fine. That's the answer I give, because truthfully, I know people don't really give a shit. I guess my point is with this little rant that I went on is, don't do shit that you don't mean. You don't realize the effects that can have on the people around you. Because when you think you're doing something because it's a nice act or a nice gesture, but you don't really give a fuck about what you're doing, you don't realize how much you would actually hurt the other person. I'm tired of seeing people do shit just to protect this false image of virtue that they've created for themselves. Fuck that, bro. Be real with yourself and your intentions. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And this is like the fucking fourth plane, bro. Like, can y'all niggas, like, what the fuck? Yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and I'm sorry for ranting, because this is literally what this video was. Take care, guys. Deuces.